The transport ship Horizon drifted silently through the void between stars, its crew of 12 humans returning from a failed diplomatic mission to the Centauri colonies. Captain Lisa Morgan stood on the bridge watching the endless black through the viewport when the proximity alarms began screaming. "Captain, we have an unknown vessel approaching fast," called out Navigation Officer Amy Rodriguez from her station. "It's massive, easily 10 times our size." Lisa moved to the tactical display, her heart racing. The ship that appeared on screen was unlike anything in human databases. Sleek, organic curves that seemed to pulse with bioluminescent patterns along its hull. "Hail them," she ordered. Static filled the communication channel before a melodic voice responded in perfect English. "Human vessel, you will prepare for boarding. Resistance is inadvisable." Before Lisa could respond, the alien ship extended what looked like living tendrils that wrapped around the horizon, drawing it into a massive docking bay. The crew watched in fascination and terror as the bay sealed around them, filled with breathable atmosphere, and gravity activated. "Captain," whispered Chief Engineer Kate Williams, "their technology is centuries beyond ours." The airlock cycled, and they entered. Lisa had seen alien species before, but nothing prepared her for the Zephyrians. They stood 7 feet tall with graceful, elongated forms. Their skin was a luminescent silver blue that seemed to shift in the light, and their eyes were large, multifaceted gems that sparkled with intelligence. Most striking were their hair-like appendages that moved with apparent consciousness, flowing around them like liquid starlight. The lead Zephyrian stepped forward. "I am Commander Zara of the Stellar Dominion. Your species has entered our territorial space without authorization." Lisa stepped forward, trying to project confidence she didn't feel. "I'm Captain Lisa Morgan. We were simply passing through on our way to Earth. We meant no harm." Zara's crystalline eyes studied Lisa intently, and something shifted in her expression. "Interesting. Your species shows more courage than expected." She circled Lisa slowly, her movements hypnotically fluid. "You will accompany us to our homeworld for evaluation." "And if we refuse?" Lisa asked, though she already knew the answer. Zara's lips curved in what might have been a smile. "Refusal is not an option, Captain. However, cooperation will be rewarded." The humans were escorted through corridors that seemed grown rather than built, walls pulsing with soft bioluminescence. Lisa found herself walking beside Zara, acutely aware of the alien's predatory grace. "Your technology is impressive," Lisa said, hoping to establish some rapport. "Technology," Zara mused. "An interesting concept. We do not build machines, Captain. We grow them. We are them." As if to demonstrate, her hair-like appendages reached out and touched the wall, which responded with brighter pulses of light. They were taken to luxurious quarters, at least by alien standards. The walls were soft and warm to the touch, and furniture seemed to shape itself to their bodies. Lisa's crew was separated into different rooms, but she noted they were comfortable prison cells nonetheless. Hours passed before Zara returned, now wearing what Lisa assumed was formal attire, flowing garments that seemed to be made of the same bioluminescent material as the ship's walls. "You will dine with me tonight," Zara announced. It wasn't a request. The dining chamber was breathtaking, a transparent dome showing the stars wheeling overhead as the ship traveled through hyperspace. The table appeared to be carved from a single piece of crystal, and the food was surprisingly palatable despite its exotic appearance. "Your species fascinates me," Zara said, her multifaceted eyes fixed on Lisa. "So primitive, yet you venture into space with such determination. Most species we encounter cower when they meet us." "Maybe that's because you tend to kidnap them," Lisa replied dryly. Zara laughed, a sound like crystal chimes. "Fair point. But you humans are different. There's something about your spirit that's appealing." As the evening progressed, Lisa found herself drawn into philosophical discussions about life, the universe, and the nature of different species. Zara was brilliant, her mind operating on levels that challenged Lisa's assumptions about intelligence and consciousness. "Tell me," Zara said eventually, leaning forward, "what drives your species to keep pushing into the unknown despite your limitations?" Lisa considered the question carefully. "I suppose it's hope. The belief that there's always something better waiting out there, something worth the risk." "Hope?" Zara repeated thoughtfully. "We Zephyrians have lived for millennia. We have conquered death, mastered the forces of creation itself. But hope, that is something we have forgotten. Over the following days, a strange relationship developed between captor and captive. Zara would visit Lisa regularly, their conversations ranging from technical discussions about their respective species to more personal revelations. Lisa learned that Zephyrians were essentially immortal, their consciousness able to transfer between specially prepared bodies. They had achieved perfection in many ways, but at the cost of growth, change, and the very unpredictability that made life interesting. We have watched younger species rise and fall for eons, Zara confided one evening as they walked through the ship's garden, an incredible space filled with plants from dozens of worlds. Most disappoint us. They achieve a certain level of development and then stagnate or destroy themselves. And humans? Lisa asked. Zara's expression was unreadable. Humans are an anomaly. You should have destroyed yourselves centuries ago by our calculations. Instead, you continue to surprise us. It was during their 5th day aboard the Zephyrian vessel that everything changed. Alarms began sounding throughout the ship, and Zara arrived at Lisa's quarters with an expression of grim determination. "We are under attack," she announced. "A hostile species known as the Devourers has found us. They consume other life forms to fuel their expansion across the galaxy." Through the viewport, Lisa could see the enemy vessels, dark, angular ships that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "What can we do to help?" Zara's eyes widened in surprise. "Help you would fight alongside us." "Those things threaten all life in the galaxy, don't they?" Lisa said. "That makes them our enemy too." For the first time since their capture, Lisa saw something like genuine emotion cross Zara's features. "Your crew will follow my lead. We're not much use in space combat, but if you need people to fight aboard ship..." Zara nodded slowly. "Very well. But understand, Captain, if we lose this battle, we all die together." The battle was unlike anything Lisa had ever experienced. The Devourer ships launched boarding pods that tore through the Zephyrian vessel's hull like hungry parasites. The creatures inside were nightmarish, shapeless masses of darkness that consumed everything they touched, growing larger and more dangerous with each victim. Lisa and her crew fought alongside the Zephyrians in the ship's corridors, using whatever weapons they could find. The aliens' advanced technology was nearly useless against enemies that absorbed energy, but human ingenuity and determination proved surprisingly effective. It was Lisa who realized that the Devourers were vulnerable to the ship's own bioluminescent systems. By overloading the lighting in key sections, they could create bursts of pure biological energy that the creatures couldn't absorb fast enough. "Zara," Lisa called over the combat communications, "can you reroute all power to the bioluminescent grid?" "That will overload the entire system," Zara replied. "The ship might not survive." "Better than being consumed by those things." There was a pause. "Agreed. All crew, brace for bioluminescent overload." The ship blazed like a star as every biological system released its stored energy at once. The Devourers shrieked and dissolved, unable to process the massive surge of life energy. The enemy vessels, suddenly cut off from their boarding parties, retreated into the darkness between stars. In the aftermath, as emergency systems slowly brought the ship's functions back online, Zara found Lisa in the damaged corridor where they'd made their last stand. "You saved us," the Zephyrian commander said quietly. Lisa looked around at the destruction. "We saved each other." Zara stepped closer, her bioluminescent skin pulsing with colors Lisa had never seen before. "Your species continues to surprise me, Lisa Morgan. Is that good or bad?" "It is, intriguing." Zara's hand reached out to touch Lisa's face, her skin warm and electric. "We Zephyrians have forgotten how to feel surprise, wonder, hope. But you remind us what it means to be truly alive." Lisa felt her heart racing. "What happens now?" Zara's smile was radiant. "Now, Captain, you help us remember what we've lost. And perhaps we can show you wonders beyond your species' imagination." As the ship began its journey toward the Zephyrian homeworld, Lisa realized this was no longer a captivity. It was the beginning of something unprecedented. A partnership between species that could reshape the galaxy itself. The stars wheeled overhead as two very different forms of life began to understand each other. finding strength in their differences and hope in their shared future among the endless cosmos.